Hey guys, Max2015 here. It is still tmed mania, so we're gonna be chugging along with more TRM. As you guys know, I never use tmed because it doesn't work well for me. So I use tanks, medics, and rifles. So I call them TRM. And let's get into some of these attacks right now. So I have them kind of loaded up, and we're gonna go into the first base, which is Seisan Thanatos. Seisan just means, the first two letters just means God of Death, and Thanatos is the Greek name for the God of Death. So, anyways, pretty badass name. Five ice statues, all 5 of them boosted, as you guys can see. So 3 building health, 2 defensive building damage. We put down the tanks alone first with some medics. The whole point on the bottom right corner was to take down those 4 economy buildings so we could get a little bit of extra gunboat energy, being that we dumped so much on that one boom cannon there. And then we flood them in the bottom corner to regroup along with a boat of rifles, and then I dumped 2 more barrages and a couple of artilleries to finish off the other boom cannon that's behind the HQ. Now you guys can see that the troops are moving along very well. All the rifles in front of the tanks, which is exactly what I wanted, and the cannon and the boom cannon are all targeting the rifles, so that's exactly what I wanted. By the way guys, because tanks are so slow and every raid takes about 3.5 minutes or so, I'm gonna have to split this attack. So this video is gonna be all TRM, the next video will be TRM up until the event is over, which should be about tomorrow, I think. Well, by the time you guys watch this particular video, it may have been already over. Who knows? So you'll be seeing TRM videos for the next 2 days or so, because I'm really trying to take advantage because they're just so cheap. It really, helps my diamonds, and it's a good practice to kind of train when they're 90% off. There's no better time to go ahead and try tanks. So why not, right? All right. So by now we've lost all the rifles, the first boat of rifles at least. You guys can see we still have a second boat of rifles, and I was waiting for the tanks to finish up the laser beam, which they just did. So now we can regroup them all the way back to the bottom left corner, and then I put down the second boat of rifles so they can all kind of regroup at the same time, hopefully. Having the shot launcher in there will certainly be pretty annoying. I had to throw a smoke to protect those medics. I mean, when you have only 5 medics, you can't really afford to lose many of them. So there we go. So all the tanks are starting to move forward. I had to reflare them one more time because the tanks were getting too close to that cannon and the rifles weren't getting there yet. So I lost 1 tank in there. I mean, nothing you can do about that. But now that the rifles are all in front there, 2 rocket launchers, 1 shot launcher, and the flamethrower. Nothing that helps the rifles in there, but nothing you can do. Just have to keep on pressing on as much as you can. I mean, we still have a fair number of rifles, about 13 of them still, and I only need maybe like 5 of them really to survive, to buy my tanks a few seconds from that boom cannon as we approach it later on. So you'll see it'll start working in a moment. Just let my tanks kind of move in. You guys see it's very slow working with tanks. Also, mind you that this is not the first time that I attacked this base. I probably attacked it once or twice before. I don't think I got any of these bases on the first try, at least not the ones that have 5 or more ice statues. I think the bases that only have like 2 or 3 ice statues, those are always no problem. But anyhow, so now all the rifles are gone, so now I'm forced to throw a shock bomb on the boom cannon, and that worked out very beautifully. By now there was really nothing that could do too much damage on my tanks. The biggest concern, I suppose, was the shot launcher, because as you guys can see, we're down to 39 seconds, and we're not even on the HQ yet. So time is always a big factor when you're using tanks, and this is no exception, especially when the bases have so much ice. So I was forced to flare straight on the HQ because I couldn't waste any more time. Shock the shot launcher with the last bit of gunboat energy I had, and 1 medkit on those tanks that were kind of red. And after that, I was just relying on sheer luck and time. I mean, the 1 shot launcher did get locked onto 3 of my tanks, but the rest of them were still able to shoot it. So look at that. The battle's ending in 4 seconds, and we barely made it with 2 seconds left on that clock. So that was super lucky. I think I timed out on one of the tries before, but anyhow, that's just how the game goes. So it takes a little bit of luck too. I mean, 2 seconds. If that HQ needed an extra shot, I wouldn't have made it. So anyhow. Okay, so the next base is Pipocaro. I think that's what the name says, Pipocaro. Another corner base with a laser beam and a shield. We put down all the tanks in the front there. As you guys can see, it's all sniper towers in the front line, so I wanted to get a little bit of gunboat energy from that. Well, I could. By the way, you guys can see I'm still carrying this cough from the weekend, so it's just been brutal. So we took down the three sniper towers, and then we dumped all of our gunboat energy on those 2 boom cannons that were behind there. We were successful at it. I think this base had 5 ice statues if I remember correctly, but I don't think they were all boosted. Maybe they were, I don't know. I can see 1 boosted guardian under those trees. We'll see. As the tanks move behind the trees, we'll be able to see them. Maybe they were all boosted, 5 boosted ice, probably, I don't remember. Anyhow, so you guys can see the rifles are doing a great job at absorbing the shots from those cannons and boom cannons. Although that one boom cannon started turning to my tank, so I was forced to drop a shot bomb on it. So buy my tanks enough time to take it out. All of my rifles are gone at this point, so I had to throw some critters for those 2 boom cannons. And fortunately, that also distracted the 1-shot launcher on the top left there. So, you know, as it wasn't my intention. I was just hoping to distract the 2 cannons, but it worked well for me. Right now, I kind of wanted to wait a little bit longer. I didn't want to use any more shock bombs on the 1 cannon, so I had to throw a smoke to protect my tank. And as soon as the tanks in the bottom got rid of the laser beam, then we can flare back to the corner just like on the first attack, and then we can put down the second boat of rifles. I find that for myself, this kind of strategy works well. This attack pattern also as well. I mean, I think it's because I don't have a lot of offensive statues. I only have 3, so it's kind of difficult to attack with tanks. So this works well for me. Yeah, I can see a masterpiece behind that. The tree is boosted. I see the other masterpiece. Yeah, all the statues are boosted behind those trees. You guys can see them kind of flashing in there. So, yeah, so 5 boosted ice. Okay, so all the rifles are in front of the tanks. Now we can start moving along on the upper left side. So similar, put the critters in there to distract the shot launcher, which it did. And that'll buy my rifles a few extra seconds and buy my tanks a few extra seconds as well. So all I needed them to do was to take down the shot launcher and the shield generator. And after that, the boom cannon is fixated on the critters and the rifle. So I had a lot of gunboat energy. I was up in the 80s, almost 90 gunboat energy, which is crazy. I mean, that's more than we have more gunboat energy than when I start. So, you know, I had enough to throw shock bombs forever. So I wasn't concerned. I was pretty full of confidence at this point. So all I had to do was just shock. That was a missed shot. I missed the shot launcher, which was kind of stupid. I think I got a little overconfident there. But anyway, we're going to get the raid anyways. So we just have to let the tanks move along and moving closer and closer to the HQ. There were some critters. That was for the benefit of that cannon. Not like I needed it because the tanks finished it off. And then from then on, it was just shock bombs all the way through on the boom cannon and the shot launcher, while the tanks will finish off the HQ. So that was actually no problem. Again, this base did take me a couple of tries, but once I figure it out, it's really not that bad. And right there, I think we're gonna celebrate with a few smokes. Look at all that, just to kind of rub it in. So second base, People Caro, not bad at all. We can keep on moving now on the third base. We got a shard and a fragment and some intel, which is always good. We just reinforce the troops very quickly. And you can see it only costs 34 diamonds to flare them, to retrain them. So next base, I can't really read this guy's name. But anyway, similar layout, once again, corner base, laser beam, and a shield generator. He didn't have a lot of ice though. I think he only had 3 ice statues if I can see correctly, right? So 2 masterpieces, 1 guardian in the top left. So this base was going to be very easy. Put down all the troops on the left side there, and then I just took down the 1-shot launcher and a boom cannon on the bottom right there. So let my troops kind of move in just as they did before. From the bottom left corner, it seems that it works well that way. Critters in front of that boom cannon kind of buy my troops a little bit of time. I also put them there so they could distract the shot launcher. Right there, 1 shot on the boom cannon shot launcher, so my troops can keep on moving along. So far we've only lost 1 pen, which is not too bad. More critters, and I think I was feeling pretty well about this particular base. I'm not gonna lie. I think I just needed to get rid of that laser beam. So as soon as my tanks finish off the laser beam, we'll start flaring to the back again. Just a little bit more. The laser beam, the prototype weapons always have so much health, so it always takes a little bit of extra time to kind of get rid of them. Now we can flare the tanks back, and we can deploy the second boat of rifles. And this is exactly what I mean. I mean, flaring back and then flaring upwards with tanks, it seems like it takes forever. It looks like it'll take just 30 seconds to get this done, and you know, when you only have 4 minutes, spending this much time regathering your troops and reflaring them, sometimes it will cost you the raid. So, but anyways, it's part of strategy, so you have to try, I suppose, right? Okay, so tanks are finally well in position there. Those critters are doing a great job of distracting the 2 cannons, and by then all the rifles are in front of the tanks, which is perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. We're looking pretty great. I mean, mind you, this base was pretty easy because he didn't have a lot of ice. I mean, compared to the other one that had 5 ice, it really wasn't a big deal. So we just let the tanks move in slowly. I was keeping an eye on how many rifles I have on the count down in the bottom here, so I can see 7 tanks, 6, 5, and as soon as that count goes down to 0, that's when I start dropping the shocks on the boom cannons. So that's how I've kind of maximized how much those shock bombs will last me. Alright, so closing in more. Nothing I can do about that one shock bomb in the front there, that shot mine rather. So all I had to do was just keep my finger on my shock bombs and just keep on throwing it on the boom cannon, because that's the only thing that matters. Not so much the sniper tower or the other defenses. And once the boom cannon goes down, we're going to be pretty golden in here. Some critters just for fun. At this point, you know we're going to get the raid, so nothing to worry about in here. And I think we just got to throw some smokes also, just to celebrate this win as well. Oh my god. I got like chest pain out from all this coughing. And the worst part is that there's no phlegm. I feel like there's something that wants to come out, but nothing's coming out. Alright. Next base. Let's see. Where are we? Okay. Okay. Did we attack? Right here. Alright, so this one was a bit of a different base, which I'm glad to, so we can mix things up a bit in this video. So this base was a center base with a laser beam behind it. The good thing is that I don't think he had too much ice, probably 5 ice, and I don't think they were all boosted. So I was able to just put down all my troops in the bottom corner there. I mean, sacrifice all those rifles right in the front, so we can just make way for the tanks. I dumped all of my gunboat energy on the boom cannon and the shot launcher on the right side. Man, I'm losing my voice already. So now the second boat of rifles is out. We've reflared the tanks closer to the left wall, which has always been a good friend of mine. And we're saving those shocks for the boom cannons right there. The problem were the mortars and the shot launcher. Not shot launcher, the rocket launchers. They were getting rid of my rifles a little too fast for my taste. But nothing you can do about that. I had to focus on the boom cannons and shot launchers rather. So just let my tanks kind of move in. Reflare everything I could. Man, I think I'm gonna have to stop talking after a little while. I have no voice anymore. Alright, so reflare. One more shock on those 2 cannons. Let the tanks finish them off. And then we can move and gather some gunboat energy on the upper left corner of the base. Once that boom cannon comes down, then we can flare all the way up there, throw a smoke to protect the tanks. And oh yeah, for 5 ice statues, you can see the 3 guardians on the upper right side there, and the 2 boosted masterpieces. So this base wasn't too big of a challenge. Alright. Okay. And sorry guys, I know this seems really slow and I wish I could speed this up, but the editing software that I have doesn't really allow me to do it, so you're just gonna have to watch this whole thing in real time. So, you know, it's good anyways. That way you can see exactly how I do things when I play. It looks like most of my tanks are pretty red in there, but no matter. None of the defenses remaining were gonna do a lot of damage, other than that one boom cannon. And the only thing that has range is the laser beam, which, you know, since it's not too boosted, then we're still okay there. I just needed them to take down the shield generator before I could throw that shock on that boom cannon. It did take one of my tanks down, so nothing I could do about that. But I had enough gunboat energy for another shot, and I had it ready. So as soon as that first one ran out, we just dropped it again on that boom cannon. And then, just because we didn't have anything else left, we had to flare straight to the boom cannon, make sure we get rid of it before that thing comes out and start picking off on all the tanks. Medkit, because that's the only thing I could afford at this point, and from then on, I don't think we had to do anything else. Just flare straight to the HQ and let them finish off the HQ. We still have a lot of time left on this base though, over a minute, so nothing much to be concerned with. Well, being that only the rocket launcher was shooting at us, but that'll come down right there. This must be horrific for you guys to watch someone just cough on camera for like 20 minutes. Right? So I think we're gonna end the video right there, guys, because I can't keep on talking. So I think 4 attacks will be good enough for now. Hopefully you guys liked it. I'll see you guys next time, guys. Bye.